Hello, my name is Gladdy and I am from Heart Take the Wheel. Welcome to my channel. Today's is another episode of 3 for Thursday. So this is where I share 3 things about something. Today's episode of 3 for Thursday I'm sharing with you 3 of my favorite most used props. And this is very similar to the other episode where I talk about my 3 favorite houseplants to use as props. I'll link that wherever that goes. But this is about the 3 props that, I guess I can't say they're not plants. We'll get into it. But anyways, these are my top out of everything I grab the most. These are currently, because that does change, my 3 favorite most used props. I will say that after certain props have been used over and over and over and over and over again, and if they're too obvious, I do need to switch things up, and I will get rid of them, retire them per se, and then get some new ones. But we're just gonna dive right into this. I will say this is also maybe a fun way to consider some props that are going to go a long way for you. So most bang for their buck maybe, because a lot of props, if you're getting something that's really, I don't know, too specific or too seasonal or whatever, then obviously they're not gonna run as long as some of these other types of props. I hope that makes sense. So this might help you think about maybe some props that, maybe not these specific 3, but maybe help you get along that thought process of what are some things that can go the longest. All right, so let's start off with number 1, which are these gold pens. How many of you have seen these in my photos? Let me know. So these gold, some of them are rose gold, some of them are more gold. So there's subtle differences here. But these are from Staples. I think they're Cynthia Rowley. I love these. I use these a ton. I use them a ton for a couple of reasons. Let me tell you why they're a go-to. Alright, so this is a go-to for several reasons. 1, gold is definitely an accent color that I reach for the most. 1, it's my branding. Gold and green are kind of my branding. And it's a lot of other people's branding. A lot of people that I work with, they have gold in their system somewhere. So it's an easy pen to go and grab. I'd like to, side note, get a set of pens that I grab a lot in the black, more neutral black and white maybe, just so I have some nice, I have a couple, but I've been trying a lot of pens to see if I can find something I love this much in the other kind of neutral color schemes. Another reason why I love this specific pen is because the branding is very subtle, and if you shoot product, if you shoot subjects like this, if this isn't the product I'm being paid to shoot, then this branding has to be more subtle in the photo. So it can't be something that stands out a lot. That means a lot of editing. If you're shooting something like an iPhone in a scene with some products and stuff that aren't iPhone, then I do need to go into Photoshop and edit out the Apple logo, things like that, just to make sure, because you can use products, it just has to be more subtle, that's not representative of the brand. I don't know if there's a whole nother, I could probably do a whole nother video about this, but regardless of that, I love these pens for the subtle branding and for the timeless color of gold. I mean, I feel like gold is in everything I shoot just about, and they are click pens. I like that they have this clip on it because that helps prevent it from rolling in the scene, so I don't have to take the extra step of tacking it to the scene. And yeah, I don't know, these are just really good go-to standard simple pens, and I've been using them like crazy. Alright, number 2 most used prop, favorite of mine, would be these marble and wood coasters. I have probably 2 others around here somewhere. These things get lost like crazy throughout the studio and the desk because I actually use them as coasters. Funny enough. And I use them in scenes all the time. I use them the most, they're a favorite because they're neutral. So obviously the white marble and the wood is so neutral, I can use it in nearly any scene I want. And that's important, is to be able to have a versatile item like that it can be utilized in many scenes and not take away from a product, because you want to make sure that props you're adding to a scene don't overpower the subject of your photo, and these definitely do not overpower. And they're all kind of slightly different, and that's also a good benefit, big bang for my buck, right? Because maybe I really want to pull in the darker wood accent of this one versus the lighter wood accent of this one, or whatever. So they're each a little bit different, and they're very neutral, and they're also just awesome. I love these coasters. I use them myself, and in my life and business, if I need a product or something, I'm always looking for something that can be utilized both in photos and my life. And this is one of those things. So these coasters, I got them at Target. They're one of those Threshold brands. I've looked recently, they have versions of this, but not this exact version, but they do still have kind of coasters like this. But they're marble and wood. Pretty basic there. Okay, and number 3, the last prop that is kind of been a go-to lately, and this is a more recent go-to. The first 2 have been go-tos for a long time, and these are definitely more recent. So this is a combination of fake, I guess like a cotton branch here, and then this eucalyptus, which is like a kind of a blue agave type of color. Smells amazing though, and they are, I love these, and I don't necessarily use them together. I often kind of just use one or the other, but there have been a few photos I've shot that have utilized both in the scene, and they've worked together wonderfully because of course the cotton is very neutral. There's no real color scheme to the cotton, and this eucalyptus is like a light, I don't know, the color is neutral enough, I think, that it works well in a lot of different situations. It works beautifully against a neutral palette though. So I love these. I will lay out a branch in a scene or have little pieces of the branches and put them in a bowl or a container or something. They just add a little touch of some earthy element, and I've mentioned them before. I'm pretty sure there's a video out there that I've done that has mentioned these before. I will link that. Anywho, so these are just something that I picked up at Michael's, I think, and they were either on sale or I used a coupon because, you know, you can get some pretty fun colors. There's a lot of different colors of the eucalyptus. This was the color that worked well with what I needed at the time, and they've happened to continually fit into my scenes since then. And then the cotton is just something, I have different versions of this like cotton stuff. It just works, it adds such an interesting comfort element, I think, to your photo. But anyway, so that's number 3. It's like this eucalyptus cotton branches, these things right here. These. Anyways, these are often used in the scene. Not nearly as often, if I had to be honest, as the coasters and the pens, because the coasters and pens are more neutral than those are, and the coasters and pens work with way more like scenes and setups and products and stuff than the cotton and eucalyptus do. But I will say that if I can bring the cotton and eucalyptus into the scene, I will. Well, there you have it. I hope that was, I don't know, inspiring or informative or entertaining or something for you for your scenes and for your photos that you take of your own products and brands and things for Instagram and whatever have you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!